Alright, I got all my parts. Got the gasket set. Comes with 2 bearings for the crank and the 2 seals. New piston, rings, wrist pin, side clips. Also bought that little kit to help compress these rings to get it up into the cylinder. So actually everything with shipping was $61. So fairly reasonable. So the first thing I'm going to do, get this piston swapped onto the connecting rod. There's an arrow on the piston, so when you put the new one on, make sure it points the same way. That should go right towards the exhaust and intake ports. Got a couple little clips in here. We'll get those out. I put a piece of tape on this side of the connecting rod so I know which way the arrow goes. Bearing's in good shape. I'm going to wash this out with a little brake cleaner, put some new oil on it. And I'm just going to lube this up with some 2-stroke oil. Now on the original piston, looks like 2 different size rings. This replacement, they're both the same. 60 thousandths, 60 thousandths. I don't think it matters which groove they go into, and they've got some little indicators there that'll lock it into place, keep the rings from rotating. Do have to be oriented. It's got this little offset on the ends of the ring that will butt up against that little locating pin. Put a little oil on this. If this is the right way to do it, coming from the bottom, but that's what I'm going to do. Now, until they get compressed, these things can move out of place, so just have to make sure, keep those in line when I put it into the cylinder. Okay, there's my arrow. There's the new clips. They're a little bit different. Might be a little tricky to put in there, maybe not. You know what? I'm putting the original ones in. Looks like a whole lot easier. Put a little oil on this bearing since it's all been cleaned out. Alright, I'm going to get the bearings put into the crankcase. Now I pre-lubed them. Put a little 2-stroke oil in a Ziploc bag and let them soak. You can hear the sound of the hammer in this socket when it bottoms out. There's a snap ring in there. You know, it can only go so far. That should be seated. Yeah, it's got actually a shoulder inside that bore that it bottoms out on. Next we have the crankcase seals. Now, when I said this thing wasn't running at full RPM, I think I found part of the problem when I was cleaning all these parts up. It's got this little port here. This takes crankcase pressure, runs to the carburetor. That's what actually pumps the fuel. Inside that little opening, it was completely plugged up. So I'm kind of guessing it wasn't able to pump enough fuel to keep it running right. So that's all cleaned up. I'm going to clean these mating surfaces with an alcohol wipe. I'm going to use a little of this gasket shellac. I don't know if this is the correct way to do it. I am not a professional. Don't do anything I tell you. I'll let that dry up a few minutes, then I can put the crank in and get these two pieces put together. Okay, here's something important to put on before you assemble this crankcases. This is the oil pickup tube for the bar and the chain. The crankshaft here, it just looked like it had carbon buildup. I just used a gray scuff pad on there. It's very fine. Just cleaned it up. Everything looks good, so we're ready to put this together. Alright, I got some oil wiped onto the crankshaft. Inside the bearings. Let's start putting this thing together. Gotta get these screws started. I can put a little pressure on them. That'll help draw the two halves together because it's a tight fit where the crank goes through those bearings. And we're almost there. Get some oil up in this cylinder. Oil on the rings and the piston. Alright, I cut a little block of wood so it'll fit underneath here. It'll hold that piston into place. And I do have my gasket in place for underneath the cylinder. Now, one thing I didn't see when I took this apart, I used this T-handle wrench here to get those back to, but I cut down an Allen wrench. Well, there is a hole up here. We'll go all the way down through here and catch this one. We'll catch that bolt there. And there's another hole on this side to catch that one. So that makes it a little bit easier. Now this bushing here has these threads on it, and these threads mesh with the little gear down here that drives the oil pump for the bar and chain. Now I think next I'll get this in place, and I'm going to convert this to electronic ignition. And this felt washer goes down next. All right, I'm going to remove the points. So they're saying this wire jumps to this and this all together. This goes onto this little shaft, and you can adjust the amount of bar oil it uses. Clip holds that into place. Okay, let's put this impeller on next. At least it'll work till I can pick up a good one. And I did wrap the handle here with some good old-fashioned friction electrical tape. All that's left to do is put the spark plug in. Okay, it's complete. Well, in this one, you can't put your foot in the handle there. So, yeah, it's got some compression. This is a 24-inch bar I run on this thing. Well, it hadn't run that good in years. Let's try it out, see how it works. Okay, over the winter I started taking these trees out here around the pond, and I got the rest of them to finish up. But I needed a big saw so I could cut these stumps down as low as I can. Then I'm going to get a stump grinder, grind them off. And with my 16 or 18-inch bar, on the other two Stihls, the way these roots kind of flare out, you can't get through all the way. Sometimes you'll leave the middle. It's tough to cut down. So the big saw is going to come in handy for that. I'm going to try this big one right here, cut that down, see how the saw runs. It's probably running better than it ever did in all the years I've owned it. Got lots of power. I'm not going to use this saw a whole bunch, but stuff like this, cutting stumps down and then some bigger logs, it's going to come in handy. I hope this video was helpful. If you got an old chainsaw, it's not really too complicated to rebuild them. Parts are available aftermarket if you can't get them from the dealer. So it's well worth the $60 to put into this old saw, get it running. Thanks for watching.